Ladies and gentlemen, warm welcome. My name is Jeanette Gibb and I am the project manager for the H22 Summit. I am so happy to be here today with Real Play Coalition and Placemaking X. These amazing organizations have joined forces to launch the Real Play City Challenge, aimed at reclaiming places to play in the cities for children. And today they are here, ready to announce the winners. We are so excited. But first, I will give you a short background. Real Play Coalition was formed with the key ambition to prioritize the importance of play for children. The coalition includes ARUP, UNICEF, National Geographic, IKEA, and the Lego Foundation. And with this, we also have Placemaking X, a global network of leaders from more than 70 countries around the world. And by accelerating placemaking, they are turning spaces we live into places we love. Powerful organizations on a great mission. And here in Helsingborg, we share the vision of a city developed by the people and for the people. Working together to tackle shared challenges is what it's all about. So let me introduce to you Hans Kassenberg and Ewan Wilmhurst, who will announce the winners today. Hans is a board member of Placemaking X and a partner, founder, and public developer at Stipo. He has dedicated much of his work to urban development, social innovation, and play for children as a foundation for development and learning. And Ewan is the head of advocacy and communication at the Lego Foundation, where he is building a future in which learning through play empowers children to become creative, engaged, lifelong learners. Warm welcome, Hans and Ewan. The stage is yours.
The Real Play Coalition and Placemaking X launched the Real Play City Challenge to address a pressing need, to reclaim places to play in cities for children. All of us have the opportunity to build back better, and the Real Play City Challenge lets us imagine how much better the future will be when fueled by children, play, and the passion of our communities. Play helps children to thrive. It's the rocket fuel of skills development. Right now, we stand on what has been dubbed a mental health crisis for children, driven by the impact of COVID-19 and the extraordinary measures put in place to combat the spread of the disease. Amidst these challenges, play brings happiness and a sense of normalcy. It helps children process their emotions and what is happening around them, and it builds their resilience. Research shows that play ignites the developing brain and builds skills that will last a lifetime, including children's social emotional skills and creativity, drivers of our societies and economies which are linked to their better academic results, higher earnings and increased engagement in civic life, skills which are quite literally the springboard for innovation.
Thank you, Ewan, and thank you, Jeanette, and thank you, H22, for this wonderful, wonderful platform. We see that cities are managing big challenges, of course, now in the light of COVID-19, and we see more than ever how important it is to have play opportunities in our neighborhoods. And we see that the ingenuity and innovation of placemakers and cities demonstrated in this challenge shows that not only can be a part of building back better, but it should be. Imagining the future cities, which we do in H22 in this conference, is as sustainable, cohesive, economic and resilient centers, happens best when cities foster stimulating experiences for children and more livable neighborhoods for families. And those experiences are driven by child-friendly, safe and playful urban practice. So we have citywide approaches which are necessary to provide a playful backdrop for children, reclaiming and integrating play in everyday life beyond the playground in all of our urban environment, in all our neighborhoods. And we have community-driven placemaking and play initiatives that provide models to test and pilot projects before making substantial political and financial commitments. And this means that even financially constrained cities can build back better by reclaiming city spaces for play.
We're inspired by, and we hope you'll also be inspired by, the examples from across the world that show the power of community-driven placemaking and play. Examples that give us much to celebrate and replicate as we look to a brighter future together with children.
So thank you very much. And now for our first big step. We've kept this a secret for a long time, and now we can reveal the secret of who are the winners. So now to announce our winning placemakers and cities, I will announce the winning placemakers. Every photo you saw in the film represented one submission, and out of those many great high quality submissions, we've selected 3 placemakers to be the winners of this placemaker side of the challenge. And those are BRAC community-based play lab implemented in Bangladesh, Tanzania, and Uganda. Playful Learning Landscapes Action Network implemented in Philadelphia. And Noodle Cart implemented in Beirut. And before we go to the winning placemakers, I would like to give a few words on why the jury selected these initiatives. First of all, because they saw in these initiatives the potential to adapt, replicate, and scale them and replicate them in other cities around the world, which is something we'd like to stimulate with this challenge. Particularly BRAC, Communities-Based Play Lab, made very noble efforts to provide safe spaces and help to train local people. And the way that the initiative addresses the frameworks of child-friendly, safe and playful urban practice really pleased the jury, the winners jury. The fantastic ideas presented by Playful Learning Landscapes Action Network, which they thought could be scaled up and replicated in different cities, is the reason why the jury selected that one as a second winner. And then the third winner, Noodle Cart, very creative play equipment and the quality of placemaking concept using lighter, quicker, cheaper approaches enabling play. So please, let's go to the winners to introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Upoma from Dhaka, Bangladesh, and representing BRAC ID. I'm very happy to present the BRAC Play Lab model in this platform. BRAC Play Labs are community-based early learning centers which offer a unique play-based learning approach and curriculum for children aged 1 to 5 years old. The curriculum incorporates easily sourced, recyclable, and age-appropriate play materials for both indoor and outdoor settings. Children have an unquestionable right to play. However, in dense and busy cities such as Dhaka, children, especially those from low resource settings, have little access to play areas which are safe and child-friendly. It is therefore essential that children reclaim their places to play in cities and reach their developmental milestones faster. Can you please? Yeah. The BRAC Play Lab model is very adaptable in design, which makes it easy to replicate and scale. The designs are contextualized according to the local culture, developed with an active engagement with the local communities. The BRAC community-based play lab has been successfully adopted in play labs co-located with government schools and high schools, and also in the Rohingya camps, contextualized as humanitarian play labs. With Real Play City Challenge, we aspire to take this model to children living in the urban slums of Dhaka, where we hope to capitalize on BRAC's local knowledge and expertise. Thank you.
Thank you, Upoma, and it's amazing to see the before and after pictures. So congratulations on being a winner. And we now go to Shelley Kessler of Playful Learning Landscapes Action Network.
Hello, I'm Shelley Kessler. The challenge is that many families do not have access to high quality learning opportunities, resulting in their children lagging behind in school readiness, poor academic performances, and low high school and college completion rates. Children only spend 20% of their time in school. 80% of a child's time is spent out of a classroom. Maximizing this time requires infusing joyful education elements into public spaces like these, such as parks, supermarkets, laundromats, bus stops, and other places where families gather. Next step. Playful Learning Landscapes Action Network is unique in that it lies at the intersection of the Conscious Cities urban planning movement and the movement to optimize early education in and out of school. PLAN applies research-based child development principles to the creation of environments that promote community activation and increased equity for underserved communities that historically have had less access to learning enrichment activities. The work we have done in Philadelphia particularly has provided a template for scaling the work to cities across the world and improving long-term outcomes for children and communities.
Thank you, Shelley. And it's amazing to see that not only schools, but the entire city can be an opportunity for learning for children. And then we go to our third winner, Noodle Cards, Marcus Veerman.
Hi everyone, it's Marcus here from Melbourne, Australia in the middle of the night. Noodle Cart is an instant, highly stimulating loose parts play space. It comes as a deconstructible mobile play cart that can be configured in endless ways to encourage self-directed learning, and it contains research-backed, specially selected materials to stimulate children's development. In terms of a product, it is truly all-inclusive because it allows children to build the cart in any way that suits their needs. It's ideal for ages 3 to 12. It's made from completely natural and non-toxic materials, and it's easily assembled with no power or infrastructure at all. And it's mobile and usable indoors and outdoors. We do this because for children in cities, because we believe that children make up part of the population and are an integral part of cities, and it's crucial for them to have a space, just like all of us, to thrive and more than survive. And finally, Noodle Cart is built for scale, and we're really excited to be part of this challenge to get Noodle Carts flat packed and sent across the world.
Thank you, Marcus. Amazing to see the ingenuity of such a concept that can be replicated basically everywhere, right? So this is what we hope to enable with this Real Play City Challenge. And I hope you, in the audience, you get a feeling of the quality of the social innovation that is driving these initiatives, which we think is what a smart city should really be all about the social innovation. The winners jury, next to the 3 winners, for that reason, also selected 3 special mentions to follow up. And I'm going to introduce them quickly. First of all, Afuera Strategy in Zapopan in Mexico for demonstrating inclusive engagement with diverse groups of local people and co-creation opportunities with abilities of children. So the first one, of course, is participatory spatial intervention implemented in Bar Elias in Lebanon, in particular for the wide range of stakeholders involved in the effectiveness of the placemaking intervention. The second special mention is Play Africa, Our Ideal World, implemented in Johannesburg for the fantastic efforts to allow children to develop creativity, explore their abilities and provide expressions for themselves. And the third special mention is Tamaulipas, implemented in Mexico City for the valuable and collective efforts made by the community, especially women, taking action and identifying issues in their own cities and communities to change perspectives and to create impact. And now the upside is, Ewan, that the special mentions for cities will be mentioned twice again by you. A big congratulations to all the placemakers and all the special winners and the special mentions. And I'll now hand it over to Ewan to introduce the cities.
Thank you, Hans. And as you say, great to see extra mentions for all those that have participated as well. No harm there. So creative governance at the city level facilitates children's active participation, safety and inclusion, as well as fostering the opportunities to play and to thrive. At the Real Play Coalition, we celebrate cities that create systems that can facilitate bottom-up change and as a result, a playful, engaging environment. So I'm delighted now to announce the winner for the Real Play City Challenge Open Call for Cities, and to announce that it is the city of Tirana. Congratulations to the city of Tirana. And I wanted to ask, what, in your view, are the 3 key elements that make a system-wide approach to play in cities?
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for this honor. It is a real joy to know that what we've been doing for children in the city is recognized, that it's something that is a real value and applicable elsewhere. If I were to just point 3 things, we have our ICE strategy. What's ICE? It's involvement, it's commitment, it's engagement. And these are the three main elements to make it all work. It's involvement in terms of having everybody be part of this adventure of making the whole city a big playground. It's commitment because when we're saying we're doing it, that means that in every little thing that everybody does within the city, whether it's a private company or whether it's a public company or whether it's just this normal individual, we are all committed into making this a playful place and a place for kids to grow happy and healthy. And it's engagement because once these things are done, they need better use. They need not just kids, but also adults being involved and being part of them and making good use of them. So the ICE strategies worked for us quite well. And then if I have to share ideas of what should be done is that, or where we started from, considering that we had 0 playgrounds for the whole city of 1 million when we first started all of this effort till now, I think it has paid off really well.
It's great, and thank you for sharing that. I guess just to build on that, what's perhaps one piece of advice that you would give to other cities and placemakers that are really interested in enabling play?
Well, I think the first thing is not to think that what has been done before is the right thing to do. Challenge all of that. If we have taken that into account, does that mean that, oh, maybe there's a good reason why we don't have playgrounds because they have a lot of maintenance, and then when something breaks, people complain. So that's a lot more work. Instead, we just said, no, this is completely wrong. We just start doing things the right way. And so do not think that what has been done before is the one that should work. Challenge all of that right away. The second thing is that you cannot do it alone. We in the city have this metaphor that our mayor uses. We are the yeast. We're not the flour and the water and all the ingredients. We are just that seed that makes the idea planted in people's heads, and then you have everybody participate. We established our first playgrounds and we invested on them from the city budget, but then everything else came out of this reflection that the whole city, whether it was businesses, whether it was organizations, or whether it was families and parents being engaged, all of what followed was basically this other mass of actors being involved that wasn't necessarily the city administration. And the third thing is nobody can do this alone, and it's related to what I said before. No matter what your budget is, you might have an exceptional city that works economic wonders. You cannot have a massive effort just out of your own pocket. If you do not have organizations involved, if you do not have people being involved privately, this cannot work. We've had instances where we had people donating their own land to create play space for kids, just by looking at how this works and how much more energetic the city is and their families are. We had people donate land. We had people donate a lot of their CSR money from the companies just on this effort because it made sense and because it did make a real challenge, a real change in the city. So those were some takeaways for everybody to have.
That's great, and thank you. I particularly like the idea that we should all be challenging what we've done before and constantly rethinking how we can do things differently and better. And this idea that it really does take everybody to do it. This is not about one or two actors in a particular sector. It's really about the city coming together. Thank you to the city of Tirana and a huge congratulations. I know the jury particularly valued how strategic and deliverable this initiative is, and particularly as you've outlined the scalability of these interventions through partnership. Really, at the core of it is the impact for children and caregivers, and that shone through how you can have that input through the transformation of the space. So congratulations again. As well as Tirana, the jury valued the efforts that are being made around the world to facilitate and scale to citywide approaches. And so the jury here, and you had a special mention, I think, a sneak preview of these from Hans, but the jury selected 3 special mentions. The first was a Fuera strategy in Zapopan, Mexico, for demonstrating inclusive engagement with diverse groups of local people and co-creation opportunities with all abilities of children. So congratulations. The second special mention goes to HOP, Pop-Up Playgrounds, Istanbul, Turkey, for the strength of the placemaking principles and the vast understanding of the context in which the initiatives take place. And the final special mention goes to Zona de Calma, Lima, Peru, for the coherent and compelling intervention that integrates well into the spatial context and where is a strong understanding of the motivation and experiences for local children. Congratulations to all of you.
So big congratulations to everybody. I think this is a festive moment now. So, since we're talking about play, let's put on our fun hats.
Yeah, hey,
and special congratulations.
Congratulations, everybody. So thank you. Cities and Playmakers are coming together to demonstrate what is possible and building commitment, investment, and the value of citywide play initiatives. We're absolutely honored and privileged to stand behind these winners today as the Real Play City Challenge co-organizers and celebrate the ideas, the energy, and the potential for what we can and will all achieve together with children and the engine of change that is play.
So I can imagine that you would like to know what are going to be the next steps, and as a member of the audience, how can I become involved? So first of all, until the end of 2020, this year, we are supporting our winners to exchange knowledge and develop their initiatives to scale up placemaking initiatives and foster citywide strategies for play in different contexts around the world. We hope that many more cities will say, we would love to embrace such a strategy as well. We would love to replicate some of the winners and bring them to our cities. We'll be sharing from the Real Play City Challenge, we'll be sharing the lessons learned open source so that cities, placemakers, urban planners, real estate developers, and other stakeholders can take action in making play accessible, integrated, and inclusive for everybody. So please do check out our website, realplaycitychallenge.org, to find out more about the winners and join the webinar series that is announced here. We have a lovely series of webinars coming up in the next couple of weeks. And all the placemakers and cities are introduced with more materials, more films, if you'd like to know more. I can imagine you would like to get in touch with the winners. And for that, we have set up a LinkedIn group that you can join. The link is shared here and on the website to engage with the initiatives in the challenge. So if you would say, I would love to have that placemaking initiative in my city, please go to the LinkedIn group and make sure you get in touch there. And of course, you can register your interest to adopt a placemaking initiative and enable play in your own city or learn from another city in terms of a citywide initiative. So then please do not hesitate to contact us via the email info@realplaycitychallenge.org. And lastly, of course, we hope that we didn't just do this year. We see all the wonderful work of cities and placemakers, and we see how they should work together on this. We would love to turn this into a biannual event. So for future editions, if you would like to become a partner, then please get into touch with us as well through the email address on the slide. And with that, I would like to give it back to Vanet, H22, and say a big thank you to all the placemakers and all the cities involved. And again, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Ewan and Hans, and a big congratulations to all the winners. Some amazing ideas there. We are about to wrap up, but I got just one quick question for Ewan and Hans. What would be your number one advice for city officials and people like myself and the colleagues that want to open up and enable play in the city? What can we do? Just one good advice.
Thank you, Jeanette. I'll perhaps start and then hand over to Hans. But I think really it's come out already. And I think, you know, as the Real Play Coalition, we value partnership and working together. And as was said by the winning city of Tirana, really working with everybody. So I think my main advice is to stretch the definition of partnership, to look who you can work with effectively and how you can challenge the notion of play in the spaces you can use.
Thank you, Ewan and Jeanette. We see that great things can happen if the bottom-up world, the initiatives from the communities, the placemakers, work together with the top-down frameworks of cities, and they open up to each other. So I think that's the most important thing that can happen. Find your own local placemakers, find your own local communities, or if you are very enthusiastic about one of the winners, you can always invite them to your own city.
Thank you for joining us today and sharing the winners announcement here at the H22 Summit. It's so inspiring to see all the creative initiatives out there exploring ways to improve quality of life in the city through innovation and engagement. So big thank you everyone for joining in today. Once again, congratulations to the winners and thank you from us here in Helsingborg.
Thank you.